The Galactic Council's testing chamber hummed with anticipation as representatives from 47 species gathered to witness the trial of endurance. Ambassador Zephyrian of the crystalline Vortani adjusted his translucent wings nervously, while the amphibious Quilek delegation maintained their stoic silence in their environmental suits. At the far end of the observation deck, 3 humans stood casually against the railing, their demeanor strikingly different from the tense formality surrounding them. "Ladies, gentlemen, and honored beings," announced Counselor Prime Ixthari. "Through the chamber's bioacoustic resonators, today we observe the final phase of species evaluation for deep space colonization rights. The trial will test the limits of biological and psychological endurance under conditions that mirror the harshest environments known to our collective civilizations." Dr. Sarah Chen, the lead human representative, glanced at her companions. "Commander," Marcus Webb and xenobiologist Dr. Kenji Nakamura, and suppressed a smirk. They had read the trial specifications 3 times, each reading producing the same reaction, bemused confusion about what exactly was supposed to be challenging. The first species to enter the trial chamber were the ethereals from Gossamer Prime, beings of pure energy housed in delicate crystalline shells. Their homeworld maintained a constant temperature of exactly 23.7 degrees Celsius, with atmospheric pressure perfectly calibrated to their physiology. The trial environment cycled through temperature fluctuations, a brutal range from 15 to 35 degrees Celsius. Within minutes, the ethereal's shells began to crack. Their energy matrices destabilized as their forms flickered between solid and plasma states. Emergency extraction was required before permanent dissolution occurred. "Fascinating," Dr. Nakamura whispered to his colleagues. "That's barely a spring day in Tokyo." Next came the proud Zarkonian Empire's representatives, genetically perfected. Beings from a world where evolution had been guided by science for millennia. Their homeworld was a paradise of controlled weather, filtered sunlight, and purified atmosphere. The trial introduced them to background radiation levels equivalent to a mild solar flare, roughly what Earth's magnetosphere filtered out daily. The Zarkonians lasted 17 minutes before cellular degradation forced their withdrawal. Their perfect genetics, optimized for their perfect world, proved catastrophically vulnerable to even minor environmental stresses. One by one, species after species entered the chamber. The aquatic deep swimmers, who had never experienced atmospheric pressure changes, were defeated by simple altitude simulation. The hive mind collective, accustomed to perfect biological synchronization, fell apart when introduced to random electromagnetic interference that wouldn't even affect a basic radio. Ambassador Zephyrian himself took the trial for the Vortani. His people, who had evolved in the gentle thermal currents of gas giant atmospheres, were subjected to variable gravity, a range from 0.8 to 1.2 standard gravities. He collapsed within seconds, his crystalline bones shattering under the extreme forces. As the 44th species failed spectacularly, the luminous ones, who required perfectly stable photonic environments, were defeated by simple flickering lights. Murmurs of concern rippled through the observation deck. The trial was proving impossible. Perhaps the deep space colonization program was too ambitious. Perhaps some frontiers were meant to remain unconquered. "Final candidates, Counselor," Prime Ixthari announced with barely concealed exhaustion. "The humans from Sol 3, designation Earth." Dr. Chen stepped forward, still wearing that subtle smile that had puzzled the other delegates all day. "We're ready, Counselor." The chamber sealed, and the trial began. temperature fluctuations that had destroyed the ethereals, the humans' clothing adjusted automatically. Dr. Chen actually removed her jacket as the temperature peaked, commenting to the monitoring system that it reminded her of a pleasant summer day in Phoenix. Radiation levels that had poisoned the Zarkonians, Commander Webb's dosimeter barely registered. "This is about what we get at cruising altitude on a commercial flight," he observed, stretching casually. Gravity variations that had crushed the Vortani, Dr. Nakamura performed jumping jacks, noting that the heaviest setting was still lighter than what they experienced in Earth's deeper ocean trenches while diving. The electromagnetic interference that had shattered the hive mind collective, the humans adapted instantly, their individual consciousness requiring no external synchronization. They actually began playing word games to pass time. Pressure changes that had devastated the deep swimmers. The humans yawned occasionally to pop their ears, a reflexive adaptation their species had developed for vertical movement in their three-dimensional environment. As the minutes turned to hours, and the humans not only endured but thrived in conditions that had broken every other species, the observation deck fell silent. Dr. Chen was giving an impromptu lecture on extremophile bacteria found in Earth's volcanic vents. Commander Webb was doing push-ups, claiming he needed to maintain his exercise routine. Dr. Nakamura was taking detailed notes on how the various environmental stresses might actually be beneficial for crop cultivation. "How?" Ambassador Zephyrian whispered, his voice carrying clearly in the stunned silence. "How are they not just surviving? They're enjoying this?" Dr. Chen's voice carried clearly through the chamber's communication system as she answered a high question from Dr. Nakamura. "Remember the Antarctic Research Station rotation? This is positively tropical compared to that winter we spent on the ice." Commander Webb laughed. "At least there's no 100-kilometer-per-hour winds trying to blow us off a mountain, or carnivorous megafauna hunting us," Dr. Nakamura added cheerfully. "The trial was designed to run for 6 hours, the theoretical maximum that any biological system might endure such extreme conditions. The humans completed it with energy to spare. When the chamber finally opened, they emerged stretching and joking, commenting that it had been a pleasant break from their usual schedule. Counselor Prime Ixthari stared at the readouts in disbelief. "The environmental parameters, they're all still within your species' normal tolerance ranges?" Dr. Chen nodded. "Counselor, with respect, this trial tested conditions that exist naturally on our homeworld. We call them weather. Our species didn't evolve in a controlled paradise. We evolved on a world that actively tried to kill us every single day. Ice ages, volcanic eruptions, asteroid impacts, predators, diseases, radiation, gravity, pressure changes. Our planet threw everything at us for millions of years." She gestured to her companions. "We didn't just survive it. We thrived in it. We learned to love the challenge." Commander Webb grinned. "Besides, this was nothing compared to basic training." The silence in the observation chamber was profound. 46 species had failed what the humans considered a mild environmental warm-up. The realization was staggering. Humanity hadn't. Just past the trial, they had revealed that the trial itself was laughably inadequate to test the products of a death world. As the implications sank in, one thought echoed through every mind in the chamber. If this was what humans considered easy, what exactly were they capable of when truly challenged? Dr. Chen's smile widened as she read the expressions around her. "So," she said cheerfully, When do we start the real deep space colonization program?